Since the year is coming to an end, and we're only a month away from the new year, I thought I would share how I set up my journals. I started using this system in 2020, right around now, on a very rogue date of November 13th. That goes to show that if you happen to see this video midway through the year or midway through the month, you can just start now. You don't need to wait for a new year or a new month. I've got to my current system through 18 notebooks and 5 years of trial and error. I think trial and error is simply unavoidable when it comes to finding the way that works for you. I'll try to explain the different choices I make when I journal, so you can take what you want and leave what you don't. But one of the main things is that I do not use multiple journals at the same time. I know that a lot of people like to have different journals specialized for different things, like to-do lists, thoughts, schedules, etc. But I like to have one journal going on at one point in time, so that when I open up one journal, I can see every aspect of my life that I decided to put in this journal at that time point. And I think everybody's brain works a different way. The system might be quite hectic for some, but this is what works for me. I believe my brain works in a very time series way. So I love that if I were to open up this journal, I could see everything that was going on in my life, August and September of 2023. If you look at the little time windows that I've labeled each of the journals with, you can see that each journal lasts about 3 months for me now, and I go through about 4 journals per year. Let me go put these away and get started setting up the new journal for the new month. My main objective when it comes to journaling is to organize my life, and the record keeping is a natural side product of it. So I spend very minimal time decorating for decorating's sake, and I personally love diaries and journals that are beautiful just because they're filled to the brim with words and text. So I use a very minimal setup, and I'll try to walk you through it. I've been using this notebook for the last 5 years. This is the Leuterm A5 hardcover in the ruled version. The reason why I settled on the Leuterm is because I know that because this brand is old, this notebook will continue to be there in this exact format as long as I need it. That being said, you do not need a pricey Moleskine or Leuterm to start journaling. You can do the setup with any notebook. These 4 things are really the only things I need to journal. The journal itself, a ruler, 8.38 black pen, and a whiteout. That's honestly it, and these are all just supplementary. This is my favorite ruler. It's by this Korean stationery brand called Morning Glory, and it's like $1 to buy in Korea. But it is literally the perfect ruler. I've had this ruler for about 9 years, since high school, and I could not find a ruler that's more perfect than this. This ruler is so perfect because it's 1 centimeter in the first square, and then it's 0.5 all the way down until the full thickness of the ruler is 3 centimeters wide. I would literally not know what to do without this ruler. As for the black pen, any .38 black pen works. My current favorite is this guy. Any whiteout will do. The reason why this is a monthly setup video is because I do not have a yearly setup. I go month by month and just do this setup before the start of a new month. Let's finally start with the setup. Here's the monthly grid. Had a little bit of a mishap there, but that's alright. I don't mind whiteout marks. Once I've drawn the grid, I'm gonna write the names, the days above. I always put down paper because I hate smudging. Time to do the single decorative thing I do in my journal, and that is choose a baby animal sticker for the month. I've used a lot of this already. Let's do the polar bear. On this page, I write one-line summaries of each day in each of the boxes, but also I write the main priorities for that month. There we go. That's it for this page. The next page is also a monthly page, so I start off by drawing out the grid again. So I have two monthly pages. The first one, like I said, has one-line summaries of each day and gives me an overview of basically what I did that month. Whereas the second monthly is one I use for a more practical purpose. This one tracks projects I have ongoing that month, and I'll show you what I mean. Again, in the left margin. Each of these colors correspond to a project. So these projects would be anything that's trackable that I want to focus on for the month. For this page, I just go ahead and write out all the dates. Completely missed this. There we go. The first monthly page and the second monthly page. Just to give you a quick idea of how I use this page, I've written out the checkpoints related to the project in blue, which is to stick to my Invisalign schedule. So I've already written down the days that are important for this specific so-called project. For this project in red, I want to learn to make Korean recipes this time when I'm back home. So it says try out at least 10 Korean recipes. And every time I learn a new recipe, I would mark a line in red and write out the recipe I learned. As another example, for this green project, catching up on YouTube videos, once I'm done uploading a video, I would mark a line in green and write the title of the video next to it. On this page, I just keep a running list of things I enjoyed that month. So I have music, I have shows and films, I have exhibitions, and I have, of course, books. And on this page, I draw my habit tracker. I start off by writing out all the habits I want to track. Now that I've written that out, I draw a grid. We have 31 days in the month, so that's 30 days, and I draw out the rest of the grid before I add the last day. At the top, I just write the dates of the Mondays. pet peeve of mine is when like lines sway. And look, my line kind of swayed to the right. This kind of thing gets on my nerves. Now we start on the weeklies. Let's see. There are 4 full weeks and 1 half week in December. So the way I set this up is first by folding the pages into 4 columns. Because we have 5 weeks in December, I'm gonna fold 10 spreads because I need 2 spreads per week. I'll show you what that looks like. So, first week, second week, third week, fourth week. And the 5th week is a half week, so just 1 spread will do. So now we fold each of these pages into 4 columns. Now I label each of the weeks. So this is week 1. And 1 spread we skip. Then week 2. Skip. And week 3. Finally, week 5. So I use 2 spreads for each week, and the way I set this up is the first spread is a tracking of how I use my time that week. So each of these columns correspond to 1 day of the week. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I write out the time. So starting from 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. I'm a big military time person. I love thinking out of 24 hours. So I label from 0 all the way to 24. Again, we have this left margin, and very much in the same way I put my priorities for the month right here. I put the priorities for the week. The next 2 pages for that week are dedicated to my to-do lists. I basically write out the days. Let me go ahead and repeat this for the rest of the month. I'm back from setting up the rest of the month. I now go through and fill in anything that has been pre-planned and I know will happen already. But before I do, let me give you a quick rundown of the symbols I use in my to-do lists. So first, I mark meetings or events with a circle. If they're cancelled, I put an X through it. If they're delayed, I put an arrow through it. And if it was completed, I fill in the circle. With to-dos, I draw a square. If I put an X through it, it means I won't do it anymore. If I put an arrow through it, it means it's delayed. Partially fill in the square, that means it's partially complete. And if I completely fill in the square, it means it's complete. I also have things that are due or time-sensitive goals. And if I put an arrow through it, that means it's delayed. And if I put a red circle around it, it means it's been completed. And I put a little sparkle for special days, like holidays, somebody's birthday, etc. The to-do list is basically divided into 2 columns. So on the left, I put all of my personal to-dos, and on the right, I put all of my school and work-related to-dos. So on the 4th, I have to switch to a new Invisalign aligner. And on the 9th, I have a final exam. Because that's a school-related time-sensitive goal, it goes on the right side with a asterisk sign. I have another final exam on the 11th. And of course, once I'm done taking the exam, I would circle it in red. On the 9th, I also have a dentist appointment, so that would go on the left as an event. And on the 12th, I'm finally flying back home to spend the end of the year with family. This is my first winter home in 7 years, and I'm gonna mark that on the calendar as well. That's about it. This is exactly how I set up my journal at the start of each month. Today's the last day of November, but I'll come back tomorrow on the 1st of December to show you how I actually use the journal throughout the month. Morning, it's 5:58, December 1st, and I'm going to show you how I use my journal in the morning. The first thing I do as soon as I wake up is write my morning journal. I've been doing it for almost half a year now, maybe over half a year now, but I just empty out my brain first thing in the morning. I start my daily diary entries, the page right after the monthly setup, and I just do so by writing the day in red. I always start by writing the time of the journal entry and start just emptying my brain below that. And in these entries, it seems like I tend to write a lot about how I'm feeling that morning and the things I want to focus on for the day. That's about it for my morning journal, and whenever I want to add more diary entries for the day, I'll just add another timestamp and write right below that. And in the following day, I'll just pick up wherever I left off, write another day in red, and then continue on with the entries for that day. I do not like leaving empty space and starting on a new page. Using the key I wrote down yesterday, I'll show you how I fill in my to-do list. That's it for the to-do list I know so far for the day. I'm going to populate the work-related stuff a little later. This list will probably grow throughout the day, but I do like to start the day off by writing the initial set of to-dos. And I basically keep this page open all day and check things off as I go. And the final thing I do in the morning is I look at this page, and right below the date, I just write down things I really need to focus on for the day. And I mark the time I woke up. That's all I do in the morning. I'll come back at the end of the day and show you how I journal before I head to bed. Bye. It's It's the end of the day and I'm back. I'll now show you how I use my journal throughout the day and how I wrap up the day writing in this journal. Starting with the to-do list, I've been checking off the items as I go. Now I'll show you how I populated the previous weekly page. As the day goes on, I keep a track of how I used my time. So I have pink for YouTube related things, red for studying, yellow for work, green for health, blue for entertainment, but I did not have any entertainment today, and purple for any hobbies. I'm probably going to read before I head to bed, so I'll probably mark that in as well as the time I headed to bed as soon as I wake up tomorrow. These were my two priorities that I set for the day, and I did both of them, so I can cross them out. Next, I go through the habit tracker and fill out any squares that I successfully completed today. That's my habit tracker filled in for the day, and if I read before bed tonight and complete my night routine, I'll fill these in tomorrow morning. I did not do anything that would help any of my projects today, so I can't put anything in today's square. But one last thing I do is write the one-line summary of today. That is it for my night journal routine and for this video. Goodbye.